Functions of election process. Since we already done with the structure and the functions, so now let's see the process, how the process happens for the election. Okay, so anyways, we had seen in the news channels or we had read the newspaper, so we know the steps what are involved in the process of the election process. Okay, first, the establishment of constituency. What do you mean constituencies? Constituencies means territories. As we all know, the country is divided into different territories based on the election, right? Next, finalizing the voters list. It is also very much important. A government should know the number of voters in the respective territory. For that, they need to finalize the voters list. Nomination of candidates and scrutiny of their nomination form. As we all know, once the dates for the election are declared, every political party nominates their candidate and they need to fill the form, and the election commission's duty is to scrutiny their nomination form, right? Next, election campaign. We know what is election campaign. It is a kind of promotion or to say or to meet with the people or the crowd and to express the work they had did, or also they assure the people that in coming days, if they are in the power, they bring the change or the development in the society. Basically, you can kind in the form of rally or sometimes a stage show, or whether we had seen different kinds of कैंपेन दे फॉलो विद द हेल्प ऑफ द टेलीविजन्स और द रेडियो, जहाँ पे आप सुनते हो कि अलग अलग पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज अपने अच्छे काम के बारे में लोगों को बताते हैं. तो ये भी ज़रूरी होता है ताकि लोगों तक वो पहुँच सके. Actual voting then becomes the date of the actual voting, and once the voting done after 2-3 depend upon the condition or the situation of the votes or the territory, फिर date results declare होते हैं, counting of votes, then results of the election. And after that, the last step that has the responsibility of the election commission, the resolution of disputes regarding election. If they find that any kind of disputes or problem happened during the time of election, so they need to think over it, whether the re-election will be done or the candidature is not proper to cancel his candidature. These things involved. Okay, so what are these steps? Let's quickly revise it. Establishment of the constituencies, finalizing voters list, nomination of candidates and scrutiny of their nomination form, election campaign, actual voting, counting of votes, results of election, and resolution of disputes regarding election. Okay, so let's begin the first process, that is the restructuring of the constituency. Restructuring. What is restructuring? Restruct karna, because it not fixed that every year we have a same number of constituency. It depends, it gets change also. जैसे हमने देखा है हमेशा तो नहीं, कभी कभी हम देखते हैं नए नए स्टेट्स बन जाते हैं, 2 स्टेट्स के स्प्लिट होते हैं, तो उसके ऊपर भी बहुत सारा फर्क पड़ता है टेरिटरीज को डिवाइड करने का, राइट. द टोटल नंबर इन टुडेज डेट, करंट डेट, वी हैव अ 543 लोकसभा सीट्स. आपने देखा होगा, न्यूज़ में सुना होगा, आपने न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा होगा, अभी इलेक्शंस जो अभी लोकसभा के हुए थे उसमें 543 सीट्स हैं. व्हाट डज इट मीन कि हमारी जो पूरी कंट्री है, हमारा जो पूरा इंडिया है, वो 543 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में डिवाइड है, राइट. हर एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी से एक पर्सन इलेक्ट होते हैं एंड ही गोज टू द पार्लियामेंट, तो वो सीट उनका होता है. इन दिस वे वी हैव 543 कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी इन टुडे सिनेरियो. द टोटल नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स इन लोकसभा इज 543. हाउ आर दीज मेंबर्स इलेक्टेड? Every member represents one constituency, right? It means that there are 543 constituencies of Lok Sabha. तो अगर 543 मेंबर है, मतलब लोकसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में कितने सीट्स हैं? 543. Creating constituencies is the responsibility of the delimitation commission of election commission. So election commission के अंदर ही अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है. तो टेरिटरीज डिफाइन करना किसका रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है? द delimitation commission. What do you mean delimitation? Delimitation means fix the limitation, right? Which area comes under which territory or which area belongs to which territory, it's the responsibility of the delimitation commission, right? Since most of us belong to the KDMC, right? So who is our representative for our Lok Sabha elections? We all know Shrikant Shinde, right? So it has a particular territory. Like BMC is a different territory, TMC is a different territory, UMC is a different territory, KDMC is a different territory. So who decides it? Authorities, government, right? The Delimitation Commission does not succumb to any pressure while reconstructing the constituency. So Delimitation Commission doesn't have any kind of pressure while deciding the constituencies. They do these things independently, right? Next, what is a code of conduct? Code of conduct is a certain kind of rules. Like in our country, we follow the constitution, right? We don't take any step against the constitution. In this way, election commission also had a set of rules they need to follow during the election. Not only the election commission, the contestants, the voters, the people, everyone, those who involved in the election process, even the common people like us. So this code of conduct needs to be followed by each and everyone. Okay? To ensure free and fair election in India, the election commission has adopted several measures. Right? It is necessary to assure that the election should be in a free and fair manner. There should be no violence, no corruption. So there is a code of conduct fixed to follow by the every citizen or individual. The code of conduct is one of the measures adopted by the election commission. In the last few decades, the election commission has used its power to control the malpractices during election. What do you mean malpractices? Malpractices means illegal things. So election commission has that authority to stop such things. Because if this thing happens, then we don't have faith in our government process or in the election process, right? The code of conduct explains the rule that are to be followed by the government, political parties and voters before elections and during election. So before the election and after the election, or during the time of election also, right? Once the dates are declared, once the results are declared, that the responsibility of the election commissions completed, then it's a process of the government that they need to follow a proper systematic government, right? Even the government cannot violate this rule. Even the government, those who are still in rule, they also cannot violate. Violate means break the law. So it is a very much strictness. Due to the strict observance of the code of conduct in the last few decades, the common voters have become confident. Since we had seen the election process are happening in a very great manner, so our confidence is also getting more stronger on the election commission or the process of our country. Okay, so understood the benefit or the mode, in the way the election commission conducts such things. Challenges in conducting free and fair election. So it is not a very easy task. As we all know, India is the world's largest democratic country, and in our country we have the largest number of voters. So it's not a very easy thing to conduct a very smooth elections in our country like India. So it has a challenging job, right? What are the challenges? Challenges in conducting free and fair election. If we take into account the size of our country and the number of voters, conducting elections become a truly challenging task. If you see the size of our country, we know China is much more bigger than us, or they have a large number of people than us. But again, China doesn't follow the complete democratic system. So that's why India is considered as the world's largest democratic country. So in this way, conducting election in India is a very challenging task. The election commission has to work in accordance with the law. While dealing with these challenges, some of the challenges are mentioned below. There are so many challenges. There are too many difficulties, but few important challenges are mentioned here, which we know it happens in day-to-day life and even in during the times of election. Misuse of money. We had seen so many movies where we had seen the leaders who are contesting the elections, they give some kind of bribe or some kind of benefits to the people to get the vote, right, in the terms of money, or even they pressurize them. If you don't give me vote, then I will kill you or I will harm you. So we had seen such things. So this should be stopped. Misuse of money takes place to a great extent. What extent? Level. During the time of election, misuse of money happens at a great level. The election commission has to take several measures to stop such misuse of money. Measures means such kind of steps. So it's a duty, it's a responsibility of election commissions to stop such things. Many political parties give election tickets to the candidate with criminal background, and we had seen many political party give ticket we had no nominature. So many political party nominate such person who belongs to the criminal background. Maybe they have a huge amount of money or they have कंट्रोल ओवर द टेरिटरी. जो भी हो, हमने अक्सर देखा है कि कुछ करप्ट लोग या क्रिमिनल्स भी इलेक्शंस में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. This results not only in criminalization of politics, but the election commission also faces problems in ensuring that elections are conducted in free environment. So it's very much important to stop such things, stop such people, because due to them there may be some kind of problem happens during the time of election. Another major challenge is violence during the election. We had seen sometimes the problems arises due to the caste or some kind of candidature his or own for his benefit creates problem in the territory. So violence होने के chances भी बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं. Another major challenge is violence during the election. The extent of violence has increased significantly during elections. All political parties should help the election commission to control this violence, and it is a responsibility of every citizen, every individual, or even the every political party to stop such kind of violence during the time of election. To retain a continuing influence on politics. So many times it happens, we had seen, to retain means to gain the political power. It happens many times the political party give nominations to their relatives or to the family members only, because they thinks कि भाई ये जो पावर है हमारे ही फैमिली में होना चाहिए, या ये कंडीशन हमारे ही रिलेटिव्स या हमारे ही ग्रुप में होना चाहिए. जैसे वी हैड अ कॉमन एग्जांपल ऑफ कांग्रेस. वी हैड सीन, आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट एनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, आई एम नॉट सपोर्टिंग एनी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू द example so which you can understand. We had seen in the Congress the powers are in the hands of the Gandhi family itself, and even we had seen the condition of Shiv Sena also. The power from beginning to still today are in the hands of the Thackeray family. So it's their own choice, but we also need a good representative. It's our own choice. It doesn't matter ना कि political party ही काम करती है, लोग काम करते हैं. To retain a continuing influence on politics, leader give election tickets to their own relatives. This practice creates a family monopoly in politics. What is monopoly? Single control. And in this way, only the single family gets the control in the politics. Okay, understood? These are the some important challenges. Challenges are so many in our country, but these things should be stopped. If these things stopped, most of the problems are already get solved. Electoral process. What is electoral process? Electoral reforms. We know the electoral process. Next topic is electoral reforms. Reforms means changes. What things should be changed to bring a better tomorrow, a better process, right? More faith, more transparency. Election is a continuous process, as we all know. To sustain democracy, election should happen, and it is a continuous process. The future of democracy depends on election. It's true. The election process becomes reliable if election process gets improved. Reliable means trustworthy. If it get improves, our trust get more on election process. Some reforms are suggested below. What will be its effect according to you? To increase participation of women, it is very much important. We had seen most of the political leaders or the representatives belongs to the male, right? So females or women should also get some participation, and they voluntarily should involve in it. It is very much important. To increase participation of women in politics, the political party should give 50% candidates to women candidates and try to ensure that they get elected. So in this way जो seats होते हैं 50% women के लिए reserved हो, और ऐसी कोशिश हो कि women's को भी participation का पूरा मौका मिले. Political parties should not give candidates to candidates having criminal background. It is also very much important. Political party को खुद चाहिए कि वो ऐसे लोगों को अपने पार्टी से नॉमिनेट ना करे जिनका कोई क्रिमिनल बैकग्राउंड हो. Doesn't make sense. They should strictly follow the decision given by the courts in this respect. The government should take care of election expenses. government should take care, government should have all the calculations or all the accountancy of the expenses, so that there should be any chance of corruption, कोई corruption का chance नहीं होना चाहिए, to ensure that parties will not make misuse of money and mismanagement of money during elections can be stopped. Representation of the People Act should be amended so that candidates have a criminal background would not be able to participate in election. We all know in our country we have an act called People's Act. That should be amended. Amendments should change that the person who belongs to the criminal background won't get chance to nominate or to get elected in elections, right? So these are the things that should be stopped in our country, right? So what we had learned in this chapter? In this chapter, we studied the electoral process from various angles, from the various sides, various scenario. In the next chapter, we will study about the political parties that we have in India. So I'm just giving the overview. Basically, our political parties are divided in two categories: national parties and the regional parties. So we will learn more about in the next chapter or in the third chapter. Okay, before that, we have some important do you know. Let's discuss it. So on page number 78, we have a do you know about the voters list. At the time of first election, preparing the voter list was a challenging task. Yes, during the first election, our country just got independent. We had just made our constitution. We are not very much well versed, as many people were illiterate, not educated. The special procedure of voting was used during election. At that time, 20 lakh steel boxes were made for voting purpose, because at that time ballot boxes were there. So different ballot boxes had different kinds of political parties' name. Today we are using the EVM machines, electronic voting machine. But before that, that was a time of ballot boxes. ईवीएम मशीन के पहले बैलेट बॉक्सेस होते थे. बट कैसा होता था, एक टेरिटरी में एक ही बॉक्स होता था. उसमें क्या होता था, सबको एक स्लिप मिलती थी जिसपे हर एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का नाम और सिंबल होता था. सिर्फ उनको स्टैम्प करके उसमें फोल्ड करके रखना होता था. बट अगर हम पहले इलेक्शंस की बात करें तो लोग इतने पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे, तो जो बॉक्सेस थे ना वो अलग अलग पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के बॉक्सेस थे. कंसीडर फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देयर आर 5 or 10 पॉलिटिकल पार्टी एट दैट टाइम. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. तो 10 बॉक्सेस एक पोलिंग बूथ पे प्लेस थे. सोचो ऐसे कितने पोलिंग बूथ होंगे, सब जगह पे 10 रखना पड़ रहा है. तो जो जिस पार्टी को सपोर्ट कर रहा है वो उसमें बॉक्स में जाके अपना चिट डालेगा. अंडरस्टूड? इस तरह से उस जमाने में पहले वोटिंग के टाइम पे 20 लाख स्टील बॉक्सेस आर मेड फॉर वोटिंग पर्पस. इलेक्शन सिंबल्स वेर स्टक ऑन दी बॉक्सेस, और जो इलेक्शन सिंबल थे वो बॉक्स के ऊपर चिपका दिए थे. जैसे कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ए को आपको वोट देना है तो आप देखोगे कि किस बॉक्स के ऊपर ए का सिंबल है, बी को देना है तो देखोगे किस पे बी का सिंबल है. इस तरह से पहले हुआ था. धीरे धीरे चेंजेस आते हैं ना. अभी क्या था, सब कुछ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक हो गया है. इन फ्यूचर डेज शायद ऐसा हो गया आपको अपने मोबाइल से वोट देना होगा, हो सकता है, क्योंकि सबका नाम रजिस्टर्ड होगा, सबके वोटिंग कार्ड और आधार कार्ड लिंक होंगे, तो आप अपने ही घर पे बैठ के अपने ही फोन से वोटिंग कर सकते हो. ऐसे टाइम भी आएंगे. सो दीज चेंजेस हैपन. Election symbols were stuck on the boxes. The voter were given the blank ballot papers which they were supposed to drop in the box having the election symbol of the party they want to vote for. This system ensured that even the illiterate people could vote. तो इससे क्या, जो पढ़े लिखे नहीं, जो समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा है, वो भी आराम से वोट कर सकते हैं. So it was very much important innovation or step you can say. Next, on the page number 79, a huge paragraph given about the journey from ballot box to EVM machine. So it is quite understandable. You just read it. Okay, I'm just reading and explain you. You also read and understood. So यहाँ पे ballot box भी दिया हुआ है और EVM machine भी दिया हुआ है. EVM machine से buttons होते हैं जिसके सामने symbols होते हैं. अगर जो वोटिंग करते हैं उनको सिर्फ बटन प्रेस करना होता है. आप अपने पेरेंट्स से भी पूछ सकते हो किस तरह से ये प्रोसेस होता है. The first election in independent India was held in 1951-52. This was the beginning of shaping of democracy through electoral politics. In the initial elections, initial means starting days में ballot boxes were used for the purpose of voting. इसमें बहुत टाइम भी लगता था काउंटिंग करने में, सिक्योरिटी में चोरी होने का भी टेंशन होता था. बहुत बार होता था कुछ क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटीज़ में बैलेट बॉक्सेस को डिस्ट्रॉय कर देते थे. बट ईवीएम मशीन के साथ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक होता है तो रिजल्ट्स भी बहुत जल्दी आ जाते हैं. The use of EVM machine started from the decade of 1990s. Many things could be achieved because of voting machine. टाइम बच रहा है, सिक्योरिटी ईजी हो रही है, कंप्यूटराइज है, तो कोई इसमें करप्शन नहीं हो सकता था। पहले तो क्या होता था, बैलेट बॉक्सेस में लोग एक्स्ट्रा चिट्स और एक्स्ट्रा वोट्स डाल देते थे ताकि काउंटिंग में मिस्टेक हो। If the voters do not want to vote for any candidate, they could choose an option of none of the above. पहले बैलेट बॉक्सेस में ऐसे ऑप्शंस नहीं थे, बट आप देखोगे ईवीएम मशीन में जब भी आपको वोटिंग का मौका मिलेगा तो एक ऑप्शन होता है NOTA, इट इज इन शॉर्ट कॉल्ड ए नोटा। व्हाट इज द नोटा? नन ऑफ द अबव। इफ यू आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद एनी ऑफ द कैंडिडेट्स इन योर टेरिटरी, देन यू कैन सेलेक्ट द नोटा। तो उसमें भी कुछ क्राइटेरिया है। अगर कहीं किसी टेरिटरी में बहुत ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ नोटा सेलेक्ट हुआ है, मतलब उसमें क्या होता है कि वो कैंडिडेट्स एलिजिबल नहीं है, तो फिर से वोटिंग होते हैं वहाँ पे। तो नोटा भी एक हमारे लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एक तरह का पावर दिया गवर्नमेंट ने। What is nota? This option can be given only because of the voting machine. It has become easy for disabled people, दिव्यांग टू वोट। तो इससे क्या होता है, डिसेबल्ड पीपल भी आराम से वोट कर सकते हैं, उनको भी समझाया जाता है कि किस नंबर पे क्या है, कैसे है, तो वो टच करके समझ जाते हैं। इट रिड्यूस द कटिंग ऑफ ट्रीज फॉर पेपर, पेपर्स की बचत भी हो रही है, and thereby help in the protection of environment. It has also been possible to have early declaration of election results. तो इससे results को भी जल्दी declare करने में आसानी होती है। Okay, next on the page number 80 we have, do you know about the different elections? General elections, midterm elections and by elections. General election that happens at a regular period of time. Midterm elections जो बीच में करने पड़ते हैं, right? Simple difference. What is general election? लोकसभा इलेक्शंस हेल्ड आफ्टर एवरी 5 years आर कॉल्ड जनरल इलेक्शन। 5 साल के बाद जो रेगुलर इलेक्शन होते हैं, दे आर कॉल्ड एज द जनरल इलेक्शन। मिड टर्म इलेक्शन, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ, गवर्नमेंट कोलैप्स हो गई, कुछ इश्यूज आए, तो मिड टर्म इलेक्शंस करने पड़ते हैं बिफोर द टेन्योर, 5 साल के पहले भी होता है। If the elected government loses its majority before completing its term in the parliament, or if the parties of the coalition government withdraws their support, resulting in the loss of majority support for the government, and in no alternative government is possible. So कभी कभी क्या होता है, जो सपोर्टिंग पार्टी होता है, हमने देखा कोएलिशन गवर्नमेंट होते हैं, तो जो सपोर्टिंग पार्टी उसने अगर अपना मेजोरिटी या अपना सपोर्ट वापस ले लिया तो गवर्नमेंट कोलैप्स हो जाएगी। तो उनके अगर और कोई ऑप्शन, कोई और अल्टरनेटिव नहीं है, तो री इलेक्शन ही लास्ट ऑप्शन बचता है। Then elections are held before the completion of the term. They are called as midterm elections. By-elections. What are by-elections? In an elected representative, if an elected representative in Lok Sabha or Vidhan Sabha or the local self-government resigns, or due to his or her death, his seat become vacant. The elections are held for that vacancy. This is called a by-election. जब भी लोकसभा या राज्यसभा में कोई अथॉरिटी में जो पर्सन है किसी वजह से, मतलब वो अपनी सीट को हटाते हैं, हर सीट से हट जाते हैं, अगर उनकी डेथ हो जाती है, वो बीमार हैं, या कुछ उनके ऊपर करप्शन चार्जेस होते हैं जिनको उन्हें रिज़ाइन करना पड़ता है, तो वो प्लेस जो वैकेंट सीट है उसके ऊपर से सिर्फ उस सीट के लिए इलेक्शन होते हैं। दैट इज कॉल्ड दी बाई इलेक्शंस। अंडरस्टूड? सो चैप्टर इज क्लियर। ओके, वन मोर वी हैव, डू यू नो, ऑन द सेम पेज, Election Commission established an expert committee on 8 October 2010. It was decided to add a new facility, that is a voter verified paper audit trail in EVM machine. क्या होता है, ईवीएम मशीन में जब आप वोट देते हो ना, तो एक स्लिप निकलती है। कैसे आप जब एटीएम से पैसे विड्रॉ करते हो तो आपके ट्रांजैक्शन में स्लिप निकलता है, वैसे ही स्लिप निकलता है जिससे मालूम पड़ता है कि हाँ, आपने जिस पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को वोट दिया है उसी का स्लिप में नाम आया हुआ है। तो काउंटिंग में भी, टैली करने में भी ईजी होता है। All political parties supported this because this facility, the voters can verify whether the vote cast is registered properly. The purpose of this important step is to stop malpractices in election. इसमें क्या होता है, जब मशीन को हम प्रेस करते हैं, समझो मैंने पॉलिटिकल पार्टी सी को वोट दिया, तो बाजू में एक बॉक्स होता है जिसमें स्लिप निकलता है। आप उसको टच नहीं कर सकते हो, आप सिर्फ देख सकते हो स्लिप को, और स्लिप वहाँ पे जमा होता है जिससे बाद में उसको काउंटिंग करने में भी ईजी होता है। So this kind has been improved in our country, and our faith also improved in our political or election process. Okay, exercise. First, let's be on the blanks on the page number 80. The election commissioner is appointed by the president. Option A. Dash was appointed as the first election commissioner of independent India. Remember, Sukumar Singh. Option C. Next, constituencies are created by the dash committee of the election commission, committee called delimitation committee, right? Option B. So state the whether following statements are true or false. First, the election commission lays down the code of conduct during the election. The election commission lays down the code of conduct during the election. So what it says कि जो इलेक्शन कमीशन है, जो कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट है, वो कभी फॉलो करते हैं ड्यूरिंग टाइम ऑफ इलेक्शन? दिस स्टेटमेंट इज फॉल्स. व्हाई इट इज फॉल्स? बिकॉज इलेक्शन कमीशन फॉलोज द कोड ऑफ कंडक्टेड वंस द शेड्यूल अनाउंस्ड, राइट? सो इलेक्शन ड्यूरिंग टाइम ऑफ इलेक्शन, इलेक्शन के पहले भी जब इलेक्शन प्रोसेस शुरू होता है, इलेक्शन के नॉमिनेशंस होते हैं, तभी भी वो कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट को फॉलो करते हैं. सो दे नॉट ओनली फॉलो ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ इलेक्शंस, बिफोर द इलेक्शंस आल्सो, वंस द शेड्यूल्स हैज बीन अनाउंस्ड, राइट? Under special circumstances, the election commission holds re-election in a particular constituency for a second time. Yes, it's true statement. If there are any disputes or any problem in under circumstances, so election commission also follows re-elections. So it is a true statement. Next, the state government decides as to when and in how many stages the election would be held in a particular state. No, it's a false statement. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड नहीं करता है. कौन डिसाइड करता है? इलेक्शन कमीशन. सो व्हाट इट सेज, द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट डिसाइड्स एज टू व्हेन एंड हाउ मेनी स्टेजेस द इलेक्शन वुड बी हेल्ड इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्टेट. नो, चाहे वो इलेक्शन सेंट्रल लेवल पे हो, स्टेट लेवल पे हो, हु विल डिसाइड? द इलेक्शन कमीशन. द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट विल बी द इलेक्शन कमीशन, राइट? द इलेक्शन कमीशन डिसाइड्स. अंडरस्टूड? राइट अ शॉर्ट नोट. फर्स्ट, reorganizing the constituency. It's on the page number 78. Reorganizing of the constituency, page number 78, left hand side. Restructuring of the constituency, write the whole paragraph, right? Understood? Second, journey from the ballot box to EVM machine, on the page number 79, right? We have a complete box from the journey from ballot boxes to EVM machines. Next, we have the complete the following picture. In that, we need to describe the process of election. So if we talk about the process of election, the first, role of election commission. What is the role of election commission? We all know. Next, role of the voter, being a voter, what we need to do, and then role of political parties and their candidate. So it is a kind of following chart, we need to complete it during the time of process of election. Okay? Next, answer in brief. First, explain the function of the election commission. What is the function of election commission? You will find it on the page number 76. The functions of election commission, right? There are 5 different functions given. So we need to write in a short. Title, topic लिखेंगे, उसमें हम short में describe करेंगे. Next, write some additional information about post of the election commission. So we need to write some importance of the post of the election commission. So you will find in the page number 75 and 76. On the page number 75 we have a topic called election commission. वहाँ पे बताया गया कि election commission के पास एक chief election commissioner होते हैं और 2 अलग election commissioner होते हैं, right? On page number 76, left hand side, first paragraph, we had seen the appointment done by the president or the power of the election commission. Understood? And the next, explain the meaning of code of conduct. You have in the page number 78 a whole paragraph on the code of conduct. Understood? So in this way we had completed the second chapter of our political science and we are done with the question and answers also. Please prepare yourself, read the entire chapter. Any doubt, any confusion, mark it, try to get it resolved, and please be regular in your studies so that you can be ready for the upcoming test. Okay? Thank you everyone.